Yo, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I started the show just a little early because Trisha's still going with the Rebecca Zahau interview, and I thought, well, for the people in my chat, I thought I'd just come hang out for a little bit until everyone sort of finishes up. Ah, you never heard of the Nicole Tuxford case? Get ready to be mega angry. So, like on this channel, we like to be angry about things, and this one might make you very, very angry. It's literally like the worst not like the offending is really bad, but it's how that offending took place. And you're gonna find out more in about probably about 10 minutes. So I don't know. I just thought I would hang out for a little bit, wait for people to finish up over there, give you guys some, I don't know, some companionship. By the way, boxing legend George Foreman dead at 76. That news came out in the last hour or so. So if you know George Foreman, if you owned one of his grills, I did. I had a George Foreman grill. Do we still have it? Hey, do we still have that George Foreman grill? Or did we throw that away? It was really old. Yeah, we had one at one point. They're great, great grills. They do a great job. Cook anything on that bloody thing, and it turns out fantastic. I think that's like most people know him from the cookware rather than his boxing career. But George Foreman dead at 76, very far too young for such a legendary man. There you go. There's the headline: George Foreman dead. Really, really horrific. That sucks. Sucks for the world of boxing. He did a lot of good with his platform and image. I know he had some sorry. Trish just sent me an email in reply to something. She's like, "Oh right, okay," and I was like, "Yeah, we could do that." April B says, "I heard that earlier. I still have one. I don't have one anymore, but we used to." He named all of his sons George. I love that. What a great thing. You only have to buy one name tag. You just like buy 5 of them or whatever. I love it. I love the replication. Yeah, so very, very sad. Not what we want to hear about. But the Nicole case is really interesting. So you might be wondering, Ping, why are you bringing up a case that's not in trial? There's no breaking news or anything like that. Her mother, Cherie, spoke out in the Daily Mail today and did like her first interview that I think she's ever done, or she's not done very many. So to hear her own words about what happened to her daughter is very powerful, and we're gonna show you what happened to Nicole, and I think it's worth listening to because we'll get into why. If I tell you now, it won't be interesting near the end. Marjorie says, I won a George Foreman grill as a trivia prize once. It was a good little grill. RIP. I know. I had one of those like real big ones, like the big oval round type shape. And we cooked everything on it: sausages, wraps, cheese stuff. What else did we put on it? Chicken, fish. I think we cooked like just because, it's funny. One of the old share houses that I used to live in had an oven, but the oven was so bad, it would literally take like 4.5 hours to cook a lasagna. It would cook like 4.5 hours to cook like a tiny thing. It was so underpowered. And then we got the grill. We got it as a Christmas present. Um, like we cooked everything on it because it was so much better than the oven. So we used it a lot. So that's really the only way I know George Foreman. I like boxing. I watch a lot of boxing, but I wasn't around for his like run, you know, doing it. Unfortunately, he was a little before my time. So Danny Mitchell says, "Rip George Foreman." Yeah, I agree. Your dad has 2 of his grills. They work amazing. They do. That's like a crock pot cooking time. Yeah, it was like a slow cooker. It was like really, really like just terrible, that oven. Yes, rip Mr. Foreman. I agree. Oh, wait, we can turn the camera on. Hey, there we go. Hey, "Hey, someone fixed my camera view. That's interesting. How did that happen? I didn't do that. Ping didn't do it. Ping didn't change it." Magic, magic. The elves came in at some point and fixed my camera view. How did that I don't know. Just turned it on and it was like that. That's very strange. That's very odd. Guys, how are you on this Friday night out here? Coming to you from a very cold Melbourne, actually. It's a pretty cold Melbourne tonight, this afternoon. It's not as hot as it has been. While we're waiting for people to come in, let me tell you a story. So I think it was Wednesday afternoon. We did the live show and I went out after. I swear, I have chased thunderstorms around the world, around Australia. I have seen hundreds of like what we call like HP thunderstorm, which stands for high precipitation thunderstorms, and they just dump rain. The rain in Melbourne on Wednesday night was biblical. Biblical. It was like 20 millimeters of rain in like 30 minutes. We were sitting in the car and it was just like rocking the car, this rain. And we're just watching it going, can we drive through this? Like what is going on? It was like sheets of rain. It was nothing like I've ever seen before. Not in Melbourne, not for many years. And we got I think it was like 20 mil of rain in about 30 minutes. Was Mrs. Ping, how mental was that rain we saw? Like we're trying to drive and it's like drifting the car. Like you could feel it, not wind, the pressure from the rain. It was like pushing the vehicle. You could feel it. It was bonkers. No, I didn't think about building an ark. I often like to do the opposite of what you know people tell me to do in the Bible. Although I try to be a good person, that is in the Bible. I try to love thy neighbor. He's That's in the Bible. I try to be a good person. I often don't build arcs though, and I don't collect 2 of every animal. I think that would take a long time, and I've got other things to do, like tell you about true crime. I just don't have time to collect, 2 of every animal, like 2 alligator, 2 great white shark. Yeah. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine trying to, like, go wrangle a great white shark and be like, "Come on, you gotta get on the ark. You can eat all the animals on there. We've got giraffe, rhino, very exotic for you, you normally eat, like, people or fish. Come on the ark, you can eat like a giraffe. Come on, just swim on." Uh, Kathy says, "I would not want to ride in an ark with 2 of anything." It's a start. I have 2 cats. "Hey, Muffin, you have to go on the ark. Do you wanna go on there?" "You do? Meow meow. Hey, come up. Do you wanna come up?" "No, he doesn't want to." "Hey, Bubba. Hey, buddy." He's like, "Dad, give me food." He's like, "I like food." Alright. Is everyone here? Are we good? Let me jump out for a sec. I just want actually, we can do it this way. Let's see. No, she's still going. Okay. I'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get going on it on our show. I want to give everyone like fair chance to get here. So, because what happens is if I start the show and then we get halfway through a story, someone will come in and be like, "What story is it? What story? What story are we talking about? Can you do a recap?" And I'll be like, "I just spent like 30 minutes telling you all about all about the show." So I'd like to avoid that if we can. Yeah, Muffin says, "Will there be food on the ark?" He'd like that. Trisha had a long show. It's long for her, yeah. When did she went on at 10:30. It's now 12:30. So she did a 3-hour episode. That's a long one for her. I think we've done 3 hours many times, but um she likes to do hers around an hour, hour and a half. So this is double, but it's an important topic. Rebecca Zahau's case is, to me, it's fundamental in the way that it's been a miscarriage of justice throughout the whole thing. To me, I think there's enough signs there that point to it not being self-inflicted, and that someone has either assisted or put her in that position. I just don't believe a woman under any mental health situation would be so okay with exposing their body in that way, at that time of the month. I think, knowing women myself, I've grown up with a lot of ladies and dated a lot of them, and this one over here, and I can't think of anything more horrific that to put that on, like, put that on display. I don't think so. I don't think so. I just can't see that being a real thing. Hey, Mombi. Hey, how are you? Good evening, all. Long-time lurker, rarely stop crocheting to comment. Hey, I'm really appreciative. Thank you very much for leaving me a comment. You can go. Actually, I have some news out of that world. Did you guys hear that a very famous YouTuber had passed away on the 14th of March? Did you guys hear about this? A very famous lady from Oregon. She was a YouTuber, and she died. Don't know what she died from. It says an illness, but her husband put up like her very last video. She never got to finish it because she passed away. It's exceedingly very sad. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Sorry, I hate using the Daily Mail, but like sometimes I have no choice because there's certain things we can't like. It won't allow you to show it on the StreamYard, and if you do, it'll just give you the pop up like, "Hey, pay for our subscription or whatever." This is her here. Her name is Donna Jordan. This was this was her here, and she was a craft YouTuber. So she did a lot of like fabrics and textiles, and she often sold them too. It's very sad. So apparently, around 4 a.m. on the 14th of March, she passed away, and her husband uploaded her very last video. I think that's very sad. Hey, profiler. Oh, you're an Aussie. Good to have you, mate. Good to have more Aussies. We get a lot of Americans. We get a lot of we do get Australians. Our mix of people is sort of like 50% American, around 20% Australian, and around 30% British. British or UK or Irish or Scotland or Wales. We get a sort of a mixture of people. Yeah, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming over from Patricia. I appreciate that. We'll have to. Hey, my friend. Hey, hey, Green Eyed Pea. I miss you, my friend. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. I hate mornings. Hey, my friend. Hey, should we say hello to people and then get everything going? Let me check. Yeah, she's done. All right. Let me say hello to everyone. Let's get into the show. You can head over to this woman's channel. Let me put the link up and just watch her final video. I think if you listen to her husband talk, I think yeah, it really is worth listening to. What was it called? Donna Jordan. Their channel is Jordan Fabrics. All right, Jordan. That's not a real word, Ping. All right. Let's see if I can go to their YouTube channel. Yes. So I'll show you just a little bit. I won't play much of it because I want you to go there and watch it. But this was Donna.
Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. Today, I'd like to show you how to make a quilt called Drop Diamonds. Now, the pattern calls for strips. It calls for 2.5-inch strips.
So she does this sort of like often with patterns or showing you how to make things. Apparently very, very well respected in this kind of world on YouTube. And then if you go through the video, I don't know if this is the one. Yeah, so about 11 minutes through, her husband pops up and he lets you know that the video never got finished because she died, and she died before she could complete the video. So please head over there and watch what he has to say, and sympathies to everyone who knew her. I can't believe how difficult that would be. Now, I didn't know them. I actually just the way I found out about it was through the media. But yeah, I'll put this in the chat if you want to go watch that final video that you can see on the screen on Jordan Fabrics. I think it's well worth it. All right. Hey guys. Hey SP Mama, how are you? The profiler, Green Eyed PI, Siana's here, Andrew, retired RN, Marilyn Landis is here, Kathy Lynch is here as well. Tharvy's here. Who else have we got? Mr. Dan Yee. Hey buddy, how are you? Woodland Creatures, April B. I Hate Mornings is also here. Who else have we got? Marilyn Landis, SP Mama, I think I said that one before. Wendy R, my friend Wendy R. Robbie T's here. Mombi's here. Hey, Mombi, I know who you are. I've seen you before. I think I have seen you before in the comments. Let's see. My friend, No More BS is here. Woman of Steel. Glitter was here earlier. Natasha. Who else do we have on the roll call? Marjorie made it. Hey, Marjorie. Anyone? Did I miss anyone? All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. If I missed you, sorry. You'll get a hello another night. All right, let's get going. This story is probably one of, besides something like Jill Meager, this particular story just it just makes me so angry that a family had, not just one family, two families had to go through this. And you'll be like, Ping, what are you talking about? Two families? Well, I'll show you now. This man, his name is Paul Wilson. And you can see in the title here what he is accused of doing. Here, let me get rid of that video. He is a double killer. Now, that might not be surprising. You're like, well, Ping, people, kill multiple people all the time. Why is that so interesting that you would make a show on it? It's the way it happened. So, Paul, many years ago, R-worded and killed a young female. He served a period of time for that and was released from prison. On release from prison, he joined a factory and got a job. His reputation was known. It was told to people, and people that worked there did know. At the time, a woman worked at this factory, and she later did not. She left, not because of him. She changed career, but she had a bit of a soft spot for Paul, and she wanted to help him. She was like, "Hey, this guy's been through a lot. Um, no one's going to help him. No one's going to give him a chance." And that was unfortunately, she was very like kind to people, and she opened up well, I don't know what the way you would call it, but sort of like a personal advancement or personal improvement type studio. So she helped people work on their problems and guided them to getting better, and sort of like a therapist, but not quite. He took her up on that offer and then killed her. Killed Nicole. Yeah, it's one of the most brutal things I've ever heard of. But that's not the catch. The catch is that the family of the original woman, the one that was killed and he went to jail, they petitioned the court for him to never be released. But they didn't listen to the family. The family said he will kill again if you let him out. And it was within a year or so that he killed Nicole Tuxford. So it is devastating. I hate hearing stories like this. Jill Meager was very similar. but the way this crime went down is probably, I think it adds to the anguish of the family because they know that the government could have done something and just went, "Oh, he served his like half his sentence. Let's just let him go." Like, "Oh, he killed a young girl. Ah, it's all right. We got a lot of those. It's okay. We get like 100,000 of them every year from people. We get new ones every year. We just replace them." But unfortunately, these females that are being killed, they are family members. They're friends, they're colleagues, they're people that you know, and they don't deserve to have such a tragic demise. Now let's go. I want to show you a little bit about what her mum has to say because I think it's really important. So here she talks about her daughter Nicole. She was 25. They used to talk to each other every Friday night. They used to catch up, like, "What have you been up to this week?" And "Do you want to go get a coffee or something?" So the normal adult mother and daughter type relationship, and they would spend a lot of time catching up on that Friday night. And this is the bit apparently that her mother was like, "Oh my god," and she had, like, a premonition about, like, her daughter. Unfortunately, they couldn't do anything to stop it, but so this is what her daughter told her in one of those phone calls. She said, "We've got a new guy at work who murdered someone, reckons he blacked out and didn't remember it afterwards. The mum said, 'You have to be careful around him.' And the daughter said, 'People change, mum. Everyone deserves a second chance. You taught me that.'" Now, that is a good thing to teach people, that everyone deserves a second shot at life, friendship, whatever, but not in all cases, not in every case. And Ping is a strong proponent for people who attack women, hurt children, commit these vile type of acts. They don't always deserve a second chance, and I am very strong in my belief in that there's some people that cannot be cured, fixed, rehabilitated. I believe that is not possible. He should never have been let out. This guy. So let me tell you a little bit more about how this happened to Nicole. They said So the mum said she raised Nicole and her three siblings in the belief of compassion and redemption, and she was very proud that she was a kind, independent woman at 25. She apparently had left home at 17 because she wanted to be a grown up and be on her own and independent, and she moved about 4 hours away from her mum. So there's a photo of her there. We use that for the thumbnail tonight. So there's a nice photo of Nicole. And this is where it gets a bit crazy. So it says here Nicole had known Paul for just about over a year when she left they used to work at like a yard together in February 2018 for a new job, which was focusing on growing. It's like a coaching business, so sort of like a personal life trainer type thing. She said on April 6th, we had our usual catch up together, laughing and chatting as always. She was staying at her boyfriend's place that night. The next evening, my world shattered. She says two police officers arrived at my home, accompanied by my youngest daughter, Jess, who was in tears, who spoke these words: "Mum, Nicole has been murdered." I can't imagine what that would be like for any parent. There's another photo of Nicole. Um, you hear about it all the time when the police give you that knock at the door at 3 a.m. in the morning to tell you that your loved one, your wife, your daughter, your husband, whoever has been killed. And it must really be one of the hardest things in the world to ever hear those words. She says she broke down, overwhelmed with disbelief. Who would want to harm her daughter? Ah, well, who else could it be? The guy who killed someone, probably. It said the police said they had arrested Paul. He had strangled her. She was just 27 at the time of her death. So when she met Paul, she was around 25. When Paul finally killed her, she was 27. Her mother describes when Nicole came home, and what she means by home is dead. She was dead. She came home in a funeral, like a funeral parlor. And she said when Nicole finally came home, it was in a coffin. As loved ones gathered to pay their respects, I noticed a bruise on her face. And she said, "Oh, Nicole, what's wrong with your face?" I murmured, bewildered, as if I could rub it away. Her hands bore deep, defensive wounds. I held them, weeping, telling her I loved her. For the viewing, I wanted to place a soft pink scarf around her neck, but as I lifted up her head, I felt lumps on the back, evidence of the brutal beating she had endured. And then I saw it. Paul had cut her throat and nearly decapitated her. It wasn't just a simple killing. This guy had beat the absolute living crap out of her and almost taken her head off as well. Almost just, straight through. This guy is a monster, really. There's no other word for it. He should never see the light of day. He should never have got out the first time. This is why these campaigns, when you should listen to the family. Why would you want to repeat the same thing again? Some of these people don't deserve to ever come back out, and this guy is one of them. The other guy is the guy who killed Jill Meager. Hopefully, we'll never see his face ever again. They say here, yeah, apparently I'm on the wrong page again. Yeah, let's go down here. Da, 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 da. All right. So after that, after her mum saw all this on her daughter, she said, "I can't say goodbye yet." When the undertakers came to take her for funeral preparation, she was like, "I want to see her again before we have to bury her." And it's very sad. I can't imagine having such a strong bond with someone like that, and then being, they're not taking her away as such, but it's almost like it's breaking that connection by like having to prepare her for funeral. And I can imagine how why the mum was like, "Please bring her back." Oh, you guys can't see the photo? What's going on? Thanks for letting me know. What? Apparently, StreamYard's gone wacky again tonight. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. It doesn't matter. You can listen to my charming voice. All right, here we go. I don't know why that didn't work. We've had some issues with StreamYard not following. So when we change photo, change page, it should automatically click over as soon as you hit the button. So there's a button up the top. You guys can't see it, but there's a button that says share this page, stop sharing, but it doesn't always turn over. And when I'm reading and I'm in a different area, I can't see you guys. So it was only because my friend, I Hate Mornings, emailed me and was like, "We can't see the effing picture, ping." I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll fix it." uh, yeah, this story, I mean, when you hear of the mum and she says, "I can feel bumps and bruises on the backside of her head and then, see bruising on her face." It's indescribable. It really is. Um, but they go down here. This is the bit that gets me. So Paul had killed before, yet under New Zealand law, so this happened in New Zealand, his past couldn't be publicly revealed to ensure a fair trial. His previous victim, the one he killed, was named Kimberly Schroeder. She had dated Paul. He changed his name to like Tainui or Tanui, but his real name is Paul Wilson. She dated him for a brief period of time, then dumped him. He had already spent 10 months in jail for threatening her with a shotgun. Then in 1994, he broke into her home, tortured her, R-worded her, and slit her throat, nearly decapitating her. Doesn't that sound very similar to what happened to Nicole? It's almost like a mirror image. The bit that while we are having that thing with the photo, the bit I left out was uh, Nicole was also R-worded in her murder too. So the two women had the same injuries, the same sexual assault, everything. They said the crime was almost identical to Nicole's murder, only Kimberly was even younger when her life was cruelly snuffed out. He received a 15-year sentence, later reduced to 13 on appeal. He was eventually released in 2011 after serving 16 years in prison. The parole board deemed him a low risk to reoffend, citing nearly 300 sessions with a prison psychiatrist and a test indicating he was not a psychopath. On release, he changed his last name from Wilson to Tainui, and then this is a photo of him here. So they said he's not a psychopath. Are you sure about that? Because I don't know too many people who are not psychopaths who go around R-wording women, torturing them, cutting their head off almost, and beating the living crap out of them. This wasn't a quick killing, and you can tell by the defensive wounds on her hand. When someone's killed in a very quick way, they don't tend to have defensive wounds because they're already incapacitated. But because she was trying to put up a fight, she had wounds to her hand. It tells me this was a prolonged, difficult death, very violent, very confronting. At what point this decapitation happened, I don't know, but the fact that she had like wounds on her hand tell you that she suffered in her final moments. Same with the previous girl, Kimberly. They both did. And this guy here, and when I look at him, he looks like he has the crazy eyes. He does. Look at those eyes. It's like that million-yard stare. That's what I see when I see him. It looks like he's just looking straight past you, into nothing. That's right. He cannot be rehabilitated. He should never have been released the first time. We got to stop being so there's a difference between like a heat of the moment killing, like someone's like there's two guys and they're in a gang and one guy like says, F your mom, and then the guy's like, hey, don't diss the D block crew or whatever, and then they pull out a gun and the other guy pulls out a gun and someone fires and the other guy fires and that guy dies. That's very different. It's not like this. This is a very personal crime where he is actually, you know, tortured, followed, abused these women. It's not a heat of the moment or passion type killing. It's a very calculated stalking behavior. It's something that we don't need in our society, and we should look to this as a very painful lesson of what not to effing do in the future. Stop releasing them. The parole boards have to be better. Stop putting them back in society. I don't care where you put them. You want to build a giant apartment tower in the middle of the Australian, New Zealand, wherever, I don't care, and fill it full of barbed wire and keep them there for eternity, like a jail but not quite. Sure, do that. I don't care what you do with them. Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. This guy played it twice, and he should never ever be released. What happened? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we don't block people from saying anything. We don't block people from any kind of comments. The only time we block people is if you're an absolute troll, and then Ping will just kick you out. But other than that, we let people say like if there's a popular case and people are like, I don't think he killed her, and we'd be like, well, that's not what everyone thinks. But we just let people have their say. We don't care what you know. You can be for and against or whatever. You are entitled to your opinion or information. We don't run a very heavy moderated chat. So go for it. Have fun. Um, yeah. We don't care what you write. I mean, we'll put it up on the screen, but we're not going to like block you for it. SP Unfortunately, the beast has been let go and all the psychos are running the back end of the system. CTO Payco is the norm now. When you hear that mother speak about her daughter, about dressing her for her final goodbye, and um, how she had to have a scarf because of the cut on her neck, and then you get this guy in a courtroom, and you're like, oh yeah, 1.5 decades, we should let him go. Took only 2 years or something to reoffend and commit the exact same crime. I think that tells you everything you need to know about Paul Wilson. So, critical race theory, I have no idea what the hell that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'd have to look it up. Ping doesn't know what that is. Yeah, one of the most brutal cases reminds me of Jill Meagher. Jill Meagher's case is very similar. The guy involved in that committed a lot of crimes against women, especially sexually based crimes. He was released on parole. He moved to Melbourne and then changed his name and then abducted, essayed, and killed Jill Meagher. Another parole board magic. So April B says her mother's words were heartbreaking. I agree. When you hear it directly from her about what she feels like, what she misses in her daughter, I think that tells you everything. We talk about crime a lot on these type of channels, and it's very easy to become desensitized. You're like, oh, and they found another prostitute in the gutter. Oh, okay. Oh, they found some woman dead on a beach. Oh, yes, sure. It's just a dead woman. Like, who cares? It's very easy to become overstimulated in true crime, but when you hear it from the mum, it really takes you back to the very beginning of like getting interested in true crime. You start hearing uh, really what her emotions are as a victim. And to me, that's very important. I think sometimes we lose sight of it, especially with the big media and like what happened today in Coburger and like this and that. We lose sight of what actually the victims and the families often feel. And to me, that's very difficult. Rachel said just heartbreaking. It should never have happened. No, he should never have got out after Kimberly. They used in 2010 assessment flaws the psychopathy checklist revised PCLR, which focuses on overt traits, grandiosity, impulsivity, but missed internalized hostility in secondary psychopaths. I think he's like one of his big triggers was women, and I think at the time, probably if when was this 2010 when he was assessed? Is that what you're saying? 2010? Probably back then, the knowledge that we have now on these type of female driven killers is probably not quite as good as it is today. It's a lot more refined now, and they're able to pick out like these it's almost like misogyny, but not quite. They just target women, and they not hate women, but they just always want to hurt them, and it's more pronounced now with the way they deal with them. So I agree with you. The profile says lacks predictive power for long-term recidivism in manipulative offenders. Interesting. I think it should have been very easy to see what he was going to do. Very easy. Based on his profile, Kimberly Schroeder killed after ending the relationship. Nicole Tuxford murdered after she distanced herself socially. Yeah, he seems to have rejection problems with women, which is often a trigger for some of these people who attack women. They see themselves as like slighted, that because this one woman doesn't want anything to do with them, that while that offends my core characteristics and pride and everything I am as a person, so I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to hurt them. It's a real messed up way to look at it, right? Because a normal person would look at the world and say, okay, I tried to hit on this woman. She said no, and she said, oh, look, I'm not really interested. A normal person would be like, oh, you know what? There's a lot of women in the world. Maybe this one just isn't the one for me. That's how a normal, um, healthy person would look at that situation. It hurts. It dents your pride. I'm sure every guy out there can attest what it's like to asking out a girl and not, um, I'm sure every guy's had been rejected by a girl they thought was really cute or whatever. These guys just don't have that mechanism to deal with it. They see it very, very differently. They see it as, deep wound to their soul, and they just wanna hurt them in regard like, in response. It's a real strange way of dealing with it because, yeah, like I said, a normal person would just be like, "Who cares? There's, like, 50,000 women in this, like, city. You don't want me? Fine, I'll go find a different woman." Yeah, if I can't have you, no one can. We have to stop that behavior too, especially in young men. Being a young man, once upon a time, I'm not anymore. Uh, I'm an old guy now. I've seen that, and I've seen young men do this. I've seen men with the whole "if I can't have you, no one can," "I'll kill if you get someone else," and that type of very toxic way of dealing with relationships between males and females, sometimes men and men, sometimes females and females, but a lot of the time between males and females. Um, we've got to start modifying that behavior. And then when the ones that won't modify, you have to really pick them up early and be like, hey, this is a red flag. Like their mates have told them, hey, that's not a cool way to act towards ladies. And when they don't modify, you got to pick them up and be like, "Hey, there's a danger here. There's some sort of problem." Before they get to this stage where they're a gray-haired dude who has now killed 2 women. So, I think there's more work to do, and I think we can do it. And I think slowly it is happening, but not fast enough. Like in Australia, we have ad campaigns. I don't know if anyone's seen them, but we have actually, can we find one? Do you guys want to see an ad from Australia about male toxicity towards women? Let me see if I can find one. Give me a sec, because I think they demonstrate a really interesting way the government's trying to work with it. Hold on. All right, I found a couple. So these are about trying to target younger men or younger boys, and it's trying to modify the behavior that tends to lead to well, Paul Wilson, really.
Life is a war for status.
Women don't want you to be kind. They want you to control them. If you're not in control as a man, you're a beta.
Who are you texting?
I know you left me on scene.
You're gonna regret blocking me!
Control as a man.
James. Is everything alright?
Yeah, it's nothing.
So, you're definitely alright.
Do you know what's influencing your kids? Learn the hidden trends of disrespect before they lead to violence.
So that's just one of them. There's about 20 of them, and they each target like a different aspect. So yeah, one of the ways our government's trying to. The profiler says, I will say though, Ping, women can be just as violent and toxic mentally. Yeah, I agree. I just don't think it's on such a grander scale as the problem is towards women. And we've gone through the statistics before. The number one thing that kills women is men in and relationships. So that's where the differentiation between women and men is. Yeah, it's the number one killer of women is DV violence. As where when you look at the murder rates for men, even though it's higher than women, the way men are killed is often fragmented across many different things. So they might be in a gang, or it's a friend, or it's a family, or it's workplace, or it can be all these different tiny little things that add up. It is a lot more than women. So men tend to be like murdered more often than women are, but it's often from a different reason. As where women are killed primarily from DV relationships. So. Glitter says women do it in a different way. I think they are emotionally and mentally cruel. We're going to a trial in about a month, which the core subject will be very possibly, if the information I'm hearing is correct. Actually, can I say this? Okay, I have to word it differently. Ping's theory about where the trial might go, and one of the things floated by the prosecution might be that Erin Patterson was lashing out because of rejection from her marriage and her family unit. But, it's just a theory. I don't know. I don't know any information. Ping just made that up out of nowhere. We like to talk theories on this channel. Because if you look at the timeline for Erin Patterson, they divorced or separated, sorry, in 2020. The poisoning started a year later on the ex-husband and continued right up until the lunch where he was due to be there, but he bailed at the last minute. And I think I have a feeling that because he bailed and said he wasn't coming, she was like, "Oh, you disrespecting me again? I was doing all this because I wanted to get back with you. I invited your family over. We're going to do like, some mediation between us and try to get our marriage back together." And I think she felt very disrespected and then was like, "Well, I'm going to hurt him. And I'm going to hurt him at his deepest point." And that was kill his parents and kill their friends who they were very close with in the family unit. So yeah, there is a flip side there. That's why Erin Patterson's case is so interesting, and it's so. I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be one of the biggest cases in Australian history because it's not super duper common that a woman would go to this type of extent. The premeditation here is massive, but there is one thing we know about women who kill. It's that they like to use poisons. So I think that's very interesting because it fits the kind of mold for that type of killer. She fits it very well. Okay. Catherine Knight. Oof. Yeah. But they don't come around as often. Like a comment on that, they don't happen as frequently as where I can name you 50 cases in the last year where a male has done the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like it does happen, but it's just not. That's why Erin's case is so important. It needs to be studied. We need to look at this. If proven it was her, we need to really look at this in minute detail. Because she tried to kill 5 people. 5. In one go. She tried to poison like 5 people. It's crazy. It's one of the things. Yeah. I know quite a bit about Catherine Knight. One day, maybe we'll do one on her. Woman of Steel says, "Don't you think the crime was planned out long before that day, Ping?" I think she had a feeling she knew the ex-husband wouldn't go. And I think he'd had enough of her. And by that point, he had already some suspicion that she was poisoning him. He had told friends, he had told family. that he believed that Erin was trying to kill him or poison him. That's why he ended up in hospital about a year or so before the lunch. So I reckon he was like, I ain't going. I ain't going to that woman's house. Every time I eat food from her, I wind up feeling sick or in hospital. So yeah, I have ADHD as well. So that's pretty well known on my channel. Yeah, I do think it was planned. I want to know to what extent and at what point did she decide to continue with the plan when she knew the ex-husband wasn't coming. But I think when he said, I think she had a feeling he wouldn't go. And I think this was sort of like a revenge to like for everything he had done, for divorcing or separating from her, from isolating her from her family, because her mother died a number of years ago. So I think she used his family as sort of a surrogate, like a surrogate type family, and she quite enjoyed being part of that family unit, even though they didn't quite ever fully like her. So there's some complex relationship dynamics in that one. Danny says you don't think she planned to off him too. I don't. I think she would have, but I think she knew he wouldn't go. I think she knew he would not go because he had already told people. He had already told people that the reason he was in hospital the year before was because of Erin. So I fully believe that she sort of knew it was going to work out this way. Yeah, she planned it for sure. Yeah, he was very suspicious. Yep. Yes, the mushroom lady. Um, yes, because no one was on her side. Yep, that's what I believe. I believe it was sort of like she was ostracized from her family unit after the separation with her ex-husband, and then she felt very alone because she had the children, and yeah, she just sort of felt pushed aside and isolated a bit. I think this was her way of getting back at them, but we'll see. It's just a theory. I don't know. That's just from me looking at the case and the files. And why did he let it play out? Because he survived, and I think the previous times he was ill, it wasn't that serious. It was like he got sick, he was not well for a few days, but he was all right. It was never like, "Hey, eat this beef Wellington with like 20 death cap mushrooms in it." I don't think it was ever like that. I think it was more like she was putting like Visine in his drink or something, and stuff like that. I think she was experimenting. And then eventually we get to the lunch. So Sienna says, did she do it to hurt him? That's what I think. I think she did it to get to him. That's just my opinion. It's not based on any evidence. It's just based on my own feelings. Reading the case, talking to people involved in the background, things like that. But I could be wrong. We could go to trial and the opening statements could absolutely blow us all away. And I'll be like, oh, sorry. I mean, they don't tell us any evidence till we go to trial. Because in Australia, you can't report on any of the pre-trial hearings. So there have been pre-trial hearings I showed you the other day. Let's see if it's still in here. It's not. But Erin Patterson and her representatives were in court earlier this week. I know what it was over, but I can't tell you what it is. Is it anything interesting? It's sort of interesting, but it's not anything like groundbreaking or earth shattering that you guys would be like, Ping, why didn't you tell us earlier? I'm legally bound not to tell you. As a member of the media, I can't tell you. But I'll tell you when we go to trial. I'll tell you everything I know. As soon as they open statements for trial, it's game on. It's game on, and we can report everything. So, I don't know what I'm after. I don't know. Hold on. Sorry, whacked my thing. Marlene says, wonder why he did not warn the others if he thought she was making him sick many times. I'm not sure. We'd have to wait for his testimony on that. She was practicing her crying. Man, that video gets me like every time. Every time I watch that video, I think, I did an interview this week. I can't tell you what it is for. I can't tell you anything about it, but I can tell you I did an interview this week and I did one the week before for the same thing, but I can't tell you what it's about yet. And they were asking me about Erin a little bit, and I was like, well, when I was very early days in the Erin case, I was like, the one thing that really got me was that video. It was that video and that the host. So when we found out that Erin, the host of the party, she didn't get sick. Neither did the children. Yet she said her children ate the beef Wellington, and so did she. It was that, and then that video. And as soon as I saw those two things, I was like, gotcha. I was like, this is not an accident. There's no way. I was like, when you see people fake crying on camera, touching their eyes like this, going, "Oh no, this is so sad, and I miss all the people, and it's oh my god, do you see all the fake tears and I'm crying?" That gets me, and I was like, that's what got me, and I was like, I knew we were going to go on a very long journey together. I was like, we're going to go on this long journey. April 28th, yes, April 28th. If you are really crying, your nose runs. Yeah, she doesn't look red. Her nose is not like dripping or red or anything like that. Her eyes are not puffy. She keeps like touching her eyes all the time. And I know that's a sign for if you ever watch any like behavioral analysis, people who touch their eyes and they're like that and things, it's a sign of them lying, not like it's a distraction and things like that. So I just knew that it wasn't right. Right. She doesn't look like anything in that footage. Warner Steele said, I don't think she was ever caught before. The brunch was the first time. Yes. So the poisonings that happened to her ex-husband, Simon, they were just, I think they were just a little wishy-washy, and he wasn't quite sure if she had done it. He was sort of like, oh, it's a bit strange. Every time I eat her food, I tend to get very ill. And that one time I ended up in a coma, but it could have been something else. I think it was a little up and down, but when it happened in Korumburra and Leongatha, when it killed those 3 people and the 4th one needed a liver transplant, I think he knew. You do them? Behavioral analysis? Ping knows a little bit. I know a little bit. Like this much. Like about that much. Ping knows a tiny bit. I don't know like this much, but I know like this tiny much. Lisa, did you say you're going to be at the trial? I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. I'm going to be up in Morwell for 2 weeks straight. Not straight, actually, that's a lie. I'm coming home on the weekends, but I'm going to be there Monday to Friday for 2 weeks. I will catch up with you, okay? I will say hello. You can have lunch with Ping if you want. We can finally have that lunch if you want. But I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. There's some other stuff going on in the background too, so I'm going to be doing certain stuff. So I will be in and out. I'll be in trial. I'll be in the hotel. I'll be back out again. So yeah, that's all I can tell you though. The profile said, yep, and non-verbal cues. I did one for baby Daisy Alana. Yeah, I can't. We can't. Are you American? Are you American or Australian? You're Aussie, right? You can't use that name. You know that, right? You use that name, that they can arrest you. You can't use that. You can't use that name. That baby is in Queensland in foster care. You kind of you're by doing that, and you're Australian, you're naming a child in state care. So just be careful with that. Don't be walking around if you're gonna make videos or a TikTok or a tweet or whatever, you have to be extremely careful with that. It's actually against the law in Queensland to name any child in state care. So like, I know the names of who you're talking about. I know everything. We've done a bunch of shows on her, on her offending. But yeah, just be careful with that. Charisma says Susan Smith crying. Yes, that is a good one. Retired says I turn into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when I cry. Yeah, just look into that. What I just said. I promise you, I'm telling you the truth. Because when I've done it, I haven't been able to name the family. Yeah, you can't name the family or the offender either, because it might name the child. So you can't use the mum's name, you can't use the baby's name, you can't use the last name. So just be aware of that. But hey, I get it though. I get why it's dumb. It's dumb because she was an influencer and everyone on the internet knows her name. Everyone knows her name, everyone knows the baby's name. I get it. It's really dumb. But unfortunately that's the law. So you'll see me in court. Have you heard anything about what the arrangements are going to be like yet? Because I spoke with people this week who are a little bit in the know of the court arrangements. So I just wanted to know, did you get told anything? I just want to see what you say before I tell you anything. Because I spoke to people who have been in the pretrial hearings and they told me some stuff about what might be happening in Morwell. All right. I can't tell you over the air, but I can tell you in private. I don't think we're allowed to say anything yet. Oh no, I think we can say that. That's okay. There may be some issues with the courtroom. So I think they're looking at what arrangements might happen. I'll tell you more in private, but that's sort of the gist of it. So because apparently it's a very small courthouse. The one in Morwell is very little. It's not like a major Supreme Court like in Melbourne. The one in Melbourne can house like hundreds of people. The one in Morwell is tiny, like really small. It's like a country courthouse. It's not very big. And you've got the world's media wanting to be there. So there's some interesting stuff going on. What? What did I say? Oh, yeah, I will see you in court. That's right. Glitter, what's happening here? This is YouTube. I'm used to hearing people say, "I'll see you in court." Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, just that. Yeah, it's a very tiny little. The Latrobe Valley Magistrates Court is just minuscule. It's tiny. It's so small. It has a jail attached to it. It has its own jail. Yeah, we're going to a trial. Yeah. Do I need a helmet? No, you don't need a helmet. We'll be there. Yeah. We'll see. I'm worried that we won't get seats. I'm very, very worried that we won't get a seat. I'm extremely worried. Because of, yeah, the information I have is that there's going to be so much freaking media there that it's going to be insane. That's what I've been told so far. Maybe they'll put up giant wedding tents. We'll be outside. You're not going to sit in the trial? Oh, I'm going to sit in the media room. Glitter says it was funny timing though. I told you, yeah, we have a good sense of humor here. Tell them to live stream outside to attend. I don't know what they're doing yet. I just know that there may be some alternate arrangements. What they are, I don't know yet. No one's been told yet, I don't think. When I find out, I'll tell people who are going. But yeah, there is going to be maybe some sort of like multiple, what do they call it where you go around in a circle and you have to get the chair? What do you call that thing? What's that thing called? You know, like we at birthday parties, we have to like, and then they take away a chair and there's like one less chair. Whatever that is. Musical chairs. There may be some musical chairs at trial. By the way, I haven't put up like a little thing in the video yet, but I'm working on how to do that on StreamYard. But the donation links in the chat and under the video. If you are kind enough to do so, all that money goes to costs associated with going out to the trial for 2 weeks. So I would appreciate it. Yeah, musical chairs. Yeah, we're gonna put up like a little goalie thing if I can figure out how to do it. But yeah, the cost to go to trial. If Erin Patterson had chosen to go to trial in Melbourne, it would have cost me $50. It would have cost me $50 to do the whole 2 weeks. I'm not kidding. $50, right? Just a train ticket for 2 weeks would have cost me $50. To go out to Morwell for 2 weeks, it's like $3,500. It's like that's just for like the accommodation, something like that. We worked it out. It's expensive. But yeah, I wish she went in Melbourne. I wish we were going to the Supreme Court in Melbourne because that would have been so much easier. I have a train station that's about 4 streets from my home. I could have woken up in the morning at 5 a.m., hopped on the train, gone to court, done the court, come home, sat in my own studio, done the trial update in the afternoon, and gone to sleep and gone back the next day. Instead, we have to drive 2.5 hours away from home and stay in Morwell for 2 weeks to go do this trial. It's going to be insane. So yeah, I'm going to be streaming from a motel room for like at least 2 weeks. So yeah, how dare she influence her own legal right for whatever. All in his underwear? I don't know what that's about. I don't know. We have family that live out that way, but they're further away. Um, Hold on. Oi, Cookie, where's our family live out there? They live in Maui though, don't they? More Maui way. So we do have family that live out there, but they're like another hour and a half away. They're sort of like in another town, so it wouldn't help. We actually don't know anyone in Morwell. We asked around, we asked family, and but we don't know anyone. It is inconsiderate a little bit. You said jump on a train, come home to do a live stream. Yeah, if I could have, if she went to Melbourne Magistrates Court, I could come home and do the update because we can't stream from the trial. Not allowed to. But I would be able to make it home, do the live show, show you what I filmed throughout the day, that type. Because I'm going to be filming, I just can't live stream it. So yeah, ish. Yeah, it is a bit ish. Don't you always stream in your underwear? No. What? Is that because you can only see the top half of me? Hold on. Oh. Oh, you guys can't see. Yeah. You guys can't see. You guys can't see, but yeah, no. I always wear pants. What are you talking about? I'm not a newsreader. That's what newsreaders do. I don't do that. That's what the newsreaders do. Yeah, I'll show you. I'm good for it. No. Do we have time to send Ping a robe? I don't own a robe. I don't think I own a robe. Do I own a robe? No, I don't own a robe. Close your eyes, everyone. No, no. I'm wearing pants, guys. I wear pants every time I stream. You guys are mental. Why would I wear a hoodie and then it be in underwear? Half the time I'm wearing jeans. Half the time when I'm doing the live show, I'm actually wearing jeans. Or tracksuit. I wear like these really comfy tracksuit pants, but not underwear. I'm not that weird. I mean, I don't begrudge you if that's what you do on your channel, but it's not a Ping thing. Yeah, weirdos. No flashing? I didn't flash anyone. I was just going to show you that I was wearing long pants. Pants in the UK is underwear. What? What do you mean pants in the UK is underwear? That's not even a real sentence. What does that mean? How does that work? What do you say if you're like, I just got a new job in an office and I need to go buy some pants? We say trousers. Yeah, it's because you're weird. It's because you're weird UK people. We say pants. Like a good pant. Like when you get a little older, you need to buy some grey or beige pant. That's what you need. You need some pant. That's what they call underwear. What? That's so weird. I've had my parents are British. Like when I grew up, my parents were British. And I've heard basically every British ism in my entire life. Like my parents are from like Manchester and uh you know, they're very, very, very like the Queen but yeah, I've never heard that before. April B says, I was watching a video today and the lady said, I'm wearing pajama bottoms. I cracked up. I live in lounge clothes. Me too. Like I buy these great tracksuit pants, but they're the ones that don't have the fluff on the inside. What do you call it? Like fleece. I hate the ones that have the fleece on the inside, even in winter, because I get really, really hot and I just don't like it. So I buy these ones that like don't have any of the fluffy stuff on the on the inside. So I'm in lounge clothes a lot too. Like I wear hoodies on every show. We say pants or jeans. I have like 50 pairs of jeans. I don't wear although I do have some what do you call those pants I have? I don't own any cargo pants, you weirdo. I got chinos. I wear chinos sometimes. Linen pants. I wear linen sometimes. A lot of jeans though. I have a lot of jeans. I'm a jean guy. Jean and hoodies. That's my thing. Even at trial, I ain't wearing a tie. Ain't no one gonna make me. Ain't no one. They ain't taking me back. I ain't never going back. I ain't never going back to a suit and tie. You can't make me. Even in trial, I ain't going to wear a suit. I ain't going to wear a tie. I won't even wear a button-up shirt. I'm gonna wear a hoodie and jeans and runners. That's what I'm gonna do. Yoga pants. I'll wear yoga pants. I'll do it. I'll wear them to trial. I'm sure everyone would love that. Don't you talk. I no that was normal. Trust me. She's fine. Yeah, it is a true. It's now a pants channel. That's what we've turned into, a pants channel. All right, let's move on. You guys started it. Every time this happens, it's you guys. It's either weird clothing or food, and it's all your fault. Every time. Every time. What happened? Hold on, guys. Jeez. All right, I'll show you this quickly, but we've got a different story I want to talk about. This just broke on the news out here. Horror as two shoppers are stabbed at a bus stop outside a packed Westfield Centre in Sydney's east. Why would they stab her? Apparently, the pair were allegedly attacked while they waited for a bus outside Westfield East Gardens on Bunurong Road in Maroubra about 11:40 a.m. on Saturday, which was today. They said the fight is believed to have broken out during an argument between two women regarding their heritage. I'm Macedonian and you are Vietnamese. So let's all get a knife and stab each other. Who cares? Why would you fight over that? They said a mother was left shaken after receiving a harrowing call from her children who were visiting the shopping center at the time. They said her children were there at East Gardens to watch a movie. She said, never been so frightened and helpless when they called me scared, not knowing what was going on. Initial reports suggest the female victim is pregnant. A 41-year-old woman was arrested at the scene by officers. Well, a 41-year-old. Aren't you a little old to be walking around with a knife? Isn't that what the young kids do? Isn't that what the young lads get up to? They carry the knives, and there you go, a cop putting the knife into a bag. We've been going off the rails lately. Yeah, I can tell you that my insomnia has been still a little up and down. So if you've noticed, like some shows like today are very high energy, and then some other shows like maybe yesterday and the day before are very low energy. It's because of that. Like some days I feel really good, and then some days I feel really low, and it's just been a little bit of a, up and down type thing. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out how to get better sleep at night, but doesn't always work. Marjorie said that's actually a term of derision in the UK, calling something pants. Yeah, sorta. I know what you mean. April B said that took some of my anger away at least. Yeah, you got to be angry about that guy. We were off in the weeds again. Yeah, it does happen sometimes on this channel. A Maltese. No, I was just giving an example. I don't know what heritage they are. I was just like, that's a weird thing to do. Why would you fight over your heritage? Are you like, I'm from the north of Italy and you're from the south of Italy. You're invaders of Italy. So let's fight. Let's get a knife while I'm pregnant and stab each other. She was pregnant. This woman is with child, and she is stabbing people. No, the victim, sorry. The victim who got stabbed is pregnant. The 41-year-old woman is not, but she was arrested by officers at the bus stop apparently. So, what's going on in Sydney? JDR says I don't own jeans. If I was a girl, I wouldn't own jeans either. I'd walk everywhere in yoga pants, especially if I was thin and hot. I'd wear yoga pants 24 hours a day, especially if I was single. I just wear them constantly. April B says that's ridiculous. It is a bit weird, right? Why would you stab someone? What is a wog? A wog is a Western Oriental gentleman. Wog is a term used in Australia. It's a somewhat racist term depending on how it's used. It means someone of European heritage, Italian, Maltese, Greek, Macedonian, that type of thing. Italian. Glitter says, I'm not thin or hot, but I wear yoga pants. You do you. You wear them. I would too if I was a girl. It's a term for Southern European, but we embrace it. Yeah, it depends how it's used. It's sort of like in America, like the N word, but not quite like that. It doesn't have such heavy racial connotations to it, and other people can use it, but you may get punched in the face if you do say the wrong thing. It's sort of like that if you're an American. Rachel says, strange thing to argue about. People hurt each other for the stupidest reasons. I agree, they do. Apparently, like this one, because they have different heritage. We embrace it. I hope you do. I hope you do. Gail says, oh my God, I'm going to have nightmares of you in yoga pants. I didn't say as a guy I'd wear them. I said if I was a girl, I'd wear them. And I'd be like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? That was weird. Did you hear that? We're getting weird voices again. Did you guys enjoy going on the walk last night? We went on a walk last night because we heard people. Hold on, guys. All right, I don't know. Someone's being weird outside. Glitter says, "I swear you have a ghost. It's haunting you. We may have a ghost." Brought the voices back with him. Yeah, we tried to go last night and find out like there was two women that were fighting like somewhere on the back part of my property, and we were trying to find them last night. So we went out to the road, and I took my phone with me and we live stream out on the road, but we couldn't find them. So Aussies tend not to do the race thing like America. We take an insult, then own it, and claim it's kind of yeah. We're not we're not as you know, as sort of into that sort of thing. All right, I have another story. This one's from JDR. I really want to talk about this because why is this happening? I don't really get it. So this is from our friend JDR. If she's still in chat, yeah.
35-year-old Stephen Grass appeared in court wearing an orange jumpsuit with his arms folded. St. Pete police say Grass and his alleged accomplice, Michelle Brandis, lured 16-year-old Miranda Corsette to his St. Pete home after meeting her online last month.
You just said that I suffocated this girl. Don't say any more here.
Investigators say inside this duplex, the teen was beaten and tortured for days after an argument over a piece of jewelry.
Repeatedly beat the victim while holding her captive for 7 days and eventually suffocating her by wrapping plastic wrap around her face.
Chief Anthony Holloway says what happened next was also horrific.
She was then killed. Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo.
Police believe Grass dismembered Corsette at a home in Largo. Then authorities say her remains were placed in a dumpster in Ruskin. Today, Brandis surrendered, but detectives are still searching for the young girl's remains. During Grass' court appearance today, he even questioned where she was.
Where's Michelle Brandis at? Thank you, we're done.
With both suspects now in custody, St. Pete police detectives say their main focus right now is finding Miranda Corsette's remains.
I heard 3 bangs. I thought it was a car accident.
I'm glad you heard 3 bangs. Yeah, horrific story. I can't remember if we did this story when it first happened. I feel like we did for some reason, but her name was Miranda Cosorte. She was 16, missing from missing. She was reported missing to the Gulfport PD on February 24. On Thursday, St. Petersburg police received a call from a witness who said they had information about a possible kidnapping and homicide involving Miranda. They say through their investigation, detectives learned that the 16-year-old was lured through social media to meet a 35-year-old called Stephen Gress on February 14th. After meeting with him for the first time, she went home, then the next day returned to his home, a duplex at 2708 27th Avenue North. According to the police, Corsette stayed with Gress and his partner, a 37-year-old woman named Michelle Brandis, at their home. Is that a female? It might be a male. I'm not sure. Oh, no, it's a female. Sorry. It's getting confused for a second. So it's his partner, 37-year-old Michelle Brandes, at her home until a dispute occurred on February 20 where the teen was beaten. Investigators believe that Miranda was killed sometime between February 20 and February 24, and that Gress drove her body to a house in Largo. Evidence at the Largo home indicates the body was dismembered, driven to Hillsborough County, and placed in a dumpster at 2893 14th Avenue Southeast, Ruskin. Detectives located the dumpster and are working to find the body. So we may now have another landfill search to try find Miranda. So they may have to go to the landfill and actually dig in it to locate her. I know, she lived with her grandma. So young, and to be killed in this way and dismembered. Apparently, Gress was arrested on Wednesday on suspicion of drug possession and pointing a harpoon at his partner, police said. That's a holding charge. He's now facing a kidnapping charge in connection with Miranda's disappearance and has been charged with first degree murder in connection with her killing. His partner turned herself into police on Saturday and is now in custody in St. Petersburg. They said in an update Sunday she's being charged with first degree murder too. Apparently, it's still an active investigation. More charges are expected. Brutal. Miranda Corsette. Let me see if I can find. I'd love to show you a nice photo of her. Here, where is a nice photo of this girl? There you go. Such a young girl. You know, we just spoke about respect for women before, and now you have a teenager, 16 years old, being like just brutalized, dismembered, beaten, and thrown in a dumpster like she's trash. And now they're gonna have to go to the landfill to try find her. Let me take you to Tampa 10 and see if they've got anything. This is when she was when he was first arrested, I think. Yes, when Stephen Gress was first charged with murder.
First to breaking news tonight, a deeply disturbing case out of St. Pete this evening. Investigators are looking for the body of 16-year-old Miranda Corsette. And you're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Courtney Robinson. All new tonight, just into the newsroom. We have new information about Stephen Gress. He is now charged with the murder of Miranda Corsette. They say that he lured Miranda through a dating app, and they're also looking for the woman that you see right here on your screen, Michelle Brandis, who could be connected to Miranda's death. 10 Tampa Bay's Asha Patel is staying on top of the very latest developments tonight.
She joins us live from outside Gress's home, where police say Miranda was killed. Asha?
Yeah, that's right. This home that you see right behind me, police say this is where 16-year-old Miranda Corsette was brutally beaten to death over a missing ring. Now, just moments ago, cops left, but we had been seeing them, but we did see them for the last several hours going in and out of the home. So let me give you a little timeline here. After Miranda was brutally beaten to death at this home, Stephen Gress then drove her body to a home in Largo. It was in that home where cops say Miranda's body was dismembered, her remains then taken to a dumpster in Ruskin. Detectives say they located that dumpster, but tonight are still looking for Miranda's remains. Cops believe Miranda was killed sometime between February 20th and 24th. Stephen Gress was arrested a few days ago on unrelated charges, including pointing a harpoon at his partner, Michelle Brandis, and now he's being charged with first-degree murder. Tonight, police are also looking for Brandis because they believe she was present while Gress was driving Miranda's body. We spoke to neighbors nearby who told us they felt uneasy living next door to Gress.
There was a lot of fighting always going on. Our landlord installed ring cameras for us, which we're very thankful for. That brought us a sense of safety, but definitely feeling safer now that he's off the streets. He was an intimidating fellow.
As for Brandis, the chief has a strong message for her tonight. Turn yourself in. I'm reporting live in St. Pete. Ash Patel.
So she did eventually turn herself in, thank the Lord. And she's in jail now on first degree murder charges, along with her partner, Stephen Gress. They've got to find the girl now. That's the next part of this. They've got to find Miranda. They've got to bring her home. Just like they did with the girls in Canada that we talked about the other night, they got to do it here too, which I'm pretty sure, depending if it's Hillsborough or St. Pete, they'll do it. I've seen them do landfill searches before. So I'm pretty sure if she was in the dumpster and it got taken to landfill, they will try and find her. It makes it a little more difficult. So when a person is dismembered and then put into the trash system, it is extremely hard to find them because they get moved around and scattered. Even if you can find the cell of rubbish where the rubbish got taken that day, because of the dismemberment, they get sort of pushed around into the rubbish system. But when you have a body that's put into a trash as a whole body, it's much easier to find, even when that is a difficult operation. But yeah, dismembered people, it's extremely hard. It's a very difficult search. It's a much larger search. You're not going to find it unless they put it in like a bag or something. It might be easier to find like that. But if they just sort of just threw them in the trash, it makes it very hard. I know, that's what I said. I said in the email reply to JDR, I was like, "What's going on? Like, why does this keep happening? We've had so many dismembered bodies in the last few months." But it was weird because last year it was all about suitcases. Do you remember? We had all these different cases where bodies were found in suitcases. Now this year we've had a whole run of people who have been dismembered. It's a little weird. A little weird. I don't know why we're having such runs of it. Sort of like the aeroplanes that keep falling. Yeah, I'm not sure why that happens. Rachel said, "I really hope that they find her." Yeah, me too. I hope so. Here's her photo again. She just looks like a sweet young girl. She looks like, someone who probably could have used a friend or used a adult that wasn't going to use her for whatever, but actually could look out for her. Staying with grandma, it's a little difficult. Grandma's a little older. If she had someone that was in their 30s or 40s that could help her, I think maybe that would have been great. But some of the things the kids get into, it's awful. This girl has an 11-month-old baby? Really? Oh, that's really sad. That's a baby that's now not gonna have mum. That's interesting. If she really does, why don't they describe her as a missing mother? Like, you know how they normally do that? They'll say she's a missing mum, but they don't say that about her. Why? They just say missing teenager. I find that weird. Yeah, I don't see anything that says she's a mum. Like, I'm looking through all the headlines right now. Yeah, I don't see anything that says that she's a mum to a child. Like, I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying that I find it strange that they're not saying that. Yeah, a missing Florida teen was brutally tortured and dismembered after she met up with a man more than twice her age for Valentine's Day. Miranda Corsett, 16, is said to have met the 35-year-old. Yeah, anything about her having a baby? Oh, yeah, here. The commander said the teen is also the mother of an 11-month-old baby. The grandmother is her primary caregiver at this time. She said she normally comes home, so she didn't report her missing every time she leaves. She just didn't come back in a timely manner this time. I find it interesting they didn't say like missing mum or whatever. Gayla says maybe because she's so young, they think more people will come forward for a child. Possibly, you might be right. Glitter said both of her parents are deceased. Oh, as someone who comes from having no parents, I can sympathize with what that might be like. That's awful. Terrible. Unfortunately, she has now joined them. But do you know what is a grace of light in this? That she, at least at her very young age, she was able to have a baby. So Miranda lives on. Even though these people horribly took her from this world, her soul is now with the baby and gets to continue. I like that. I feel that gives me a little bit more comfort reading about Miranda, but makes me very sad that she doesn't have her mum. Is it a girl, the baby? I'm not sure what sex the baby is, but the baby doesn't have its mum. This photo is very strange. She looks like she's at like a obstetrician gynecologist thing, and she's like, "Yeah, thumbs up. They're gonna look in my vagina today. Good work." It's a very strange photo. It's almost like, had a great time at the doctor's office. Thumbs up. It is heartbreaking, I agree. Glitter says, I think it's horrific that they shoved a billiard ball in her mouth and covered her head in plastic. I know. The details of her death are horrific. Let me see. Let me see if I can find. Wonder if we can find that press conference. Hold on. Yes, I do have it. We'll listen to it for a little bit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to update you on the case of Miranda Corsetti, the missing juvenile. The missing juvenile went missing on February the 24th. I am going to outline the timeline for you, but I want to remind you that this is an ongoing investigation. So as law enforcement continue to investigation, things could change at any moment. So here's the timeline how it first started. So yesterday afternoon, we had a witness that came in that said she wanted to provide us information on the missing juvenile from Gulfport. Based on the tips and investigation by the detective, we believe that 16-year-old Miranda Corsetti was contacted by 35-year-old Stephen Gress on a social media app. And I'm going to stop there for one moment and just want to remind all the parents out there, please, I'm begging you, please, make sure you know what your kids are doing on social media. And to the kids also, if someone is contacting you and are not a family member, please let your parents know. So again, we're talking about a 16-year-old that was contacted by a 35-year-old. On February the 14th, we know that Mr. Gress went to Miranda's home, picked her up, took her to his house, which is located at 2708 27th Avenue North. He took her to the house. She spent the day there. We know he took her back on the 24th. On the 15th of February, we know she went back to the house on her own. Now, on the 20th at the house, there was some type of dispute over some missing jewelry. So from the 20th to the 24th, she was beaten and tortured because they could not find this piece of jewelry. We know that sometime there, she was then killed. Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo. In Largo, the detectives found evidence that Miranda was dismembered at that location. They then placed her in a car and they drove her down to Ruskin where they dumped her into a dumpster, and her body is somewhere possibly in a landfill somewhere in that county. Yesterday, we realized that Mr. Gress was already in custody for pointing a harpoon at his domestic partner and possession of drugs. He is still in county jail as we speak today. We are now looking for Michelle Brandis. The picture's to.
I mean, even the limited details in this first couple of minutes are brutal. You think of her age and you think about what you were doing at that age. What if you ended up in a trash can, dismembered because you made a wrong choice? It's she should be home with her baby.
To my left and to your right. Michelle, if you're out there, we're trying to tell you to turn yourself in because we will find you sooner or later. If anybody out there is trying to help Michelle, if we can, we will charge you with the charges we can charge you with. As of this point, Mr. Gress is being charged with kidnapping Miranda, and this is an active investigation. More charges are soon to follow. I want to thank the following agencies for helping us out: Gulfport, Largo, and Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, our state and federal partners. Again, this is a horrific crime. We are still investigating it. We want to ensure that we bring justice to Miranda. The investigators are looking at every piece of evidence that we can find. And again, I want to say we want to hold all responsible parties accountable. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
All right, I'm not going to make you listen to 12 minutes of questions that you can't hear and you can only hear the answer. I'm not going to do that. April B says, I wonder if the father or his parents will care for the baby. I hope the baby can grow up in a stable, loving home. I think they said the grandmother has custody of the baby right now. Well, true, being that she was, someone said in the chat she's so little. She is very little, right? She's a very little girl. Glitter says she reminds me of Wednesday from the Addams Family. A little bit, right? She has that look. Um, True. Depends on her age. I don't know how old the grandma is. That's true. Maybe she would like to keep that little part of her grandchild. Gayla says, my thought is if you commit a crime, if you commit a cream, don't commit creams. Don't do that. It's very dangerous. If you want to commit, you don't take the body to another property, making a bigger crime scene. Yeah, I think a lot of people are really dumb. There's a lot of dumb people who commit murder. I feel like if the smart people committed murder, we probably would never hear about it. But it seems to be like it's only the dumb people that do it. Like the reason I don't commit murder is because I'm dumb and I know I couldn't do it clever enough. So I don't know why other people do. Unless you have some sort of like really good plan, your name is Dexter, you have like plastic sheeting, you have an alligator alley, maybe then. But like, no. Like a lot of people are like, I killed someone. Well, what'd you do? Well, I touched them. Were you wearing gloves? No. And I like SA'd them. Why'd you do that? Well, I don't know. I wanted to. Well, did you use a condom? No. Well, there's going to be heaps of DNA there. Well, it's what I like to do. I like to leave DNA in places, especially in my victims. Like, it's bizarre. Like, these people are stupid. It's like, please arrest me. Please arrest me for crimes or creams. Please arrest me for all the creams. Yeah, I don't get it. There's a lot of very silly people out there that are very weird with the way they commit their crimes. Gayla said, I would need a pig farm to get rid of my evidence. Like that guy. That guy, I can't remember what his name is, had that farm with all the pigs. Hollow or something. And then like fed his victims to the pigs. It was so brutal that they're still finding bones on the property today. Is it called like Hollowwood or something, or Hollowfield or something? It's called something, I can't remember, but he would often get gay people from the local area and kill them. I don't think I'm brutal. Ed Gein, no, it wasn't Ed Gein. Ed Gein was a different one. Glitter said they killed her at the boyfriend's house and dismembered her at the girlfriend's mum's house, probably trying to conceal evidence, possibly. Glitter said, yeah, I saw that lights out. What? There was one. Hold on, what's it called? Hollow. Yeah, Fox Hollow Farms. It's Herb Baumeister. This one. This guy. They're still finding bones on that farm today. There was a bone found like a couple of weeks ago. They found a leg bone in the forest. Let me see if I can find that for you. I think it might be this one. No, but it's about the guy that owns the property now. Apparently, like he's found bones and fragments and things like still on the property today. So I'm sure a lot of you know about this particular case, but that's him there. That's Herb. He eventually took his own life before they could get him. So never saw justice for his crimes. Oh, on Lights Out podcast. I don't know who Lights Out is. Ed Gein. Ed Gein's a very interesting serial killer. Very interesting. I think his offending shows you the depths of depravity that some people go to in their mind. The fact that he would cut them up, like tan and hide them, and make furniture out of it. Do you know who Kendall Ray is? No, I don't know who that is. Sorry, guys, I don't know who all the popular people are. I don't know who that is. Kendall Ray. Can't say I've ever watched a video from that person. Is it a good one? You have to tell me. Ping likes documentaries, so I'll watch a documentary on anything. Like I've been watching a lot of documentaries on Stacey Dooley from the UK because I think she's really good. I like her documentaries. Oh, okay. She's a true crime channel and her husband has the Lights Out podcast. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't say I know who she is. She has a nice voice. People used to tell me that and then now they don't anymore. So they must think I changed the way I talk on the channel. Glitter said they're a very big channel. They don't do any kind of drama. Big channels. We don't do drama here either. We had some weirdo in here the other night trying to start some sort of like cross-channel war between us. And I was like, hey, this is all you get from Ping. Get out of my channel. I have no time for drama. I don't care about it. I don't care who likes who. I don't care who doesn't like who. There's more important things to do, like victims and cases and exposure for missing people. How do you have so much time to talk shit about other people when there's like so many cases that I can't even keep up with it? And I do a show every single day. You are not working hard enough. Really, you're not. You are not working hard enough if you have time to bitch about other channels. Kendall Ray has 3.9 million subscribers. That'd be nice. So 3.9 million people. Come here, subscribe to this channel. Raise lots of money for charity. I can't say I know who they are though. Thanks, Woman of Steel. I appreciate it. Glitter says you would like those channels. I sometimes go to sleep to Lights Out. I Hate Morning says Willie Picton was another feeding his victims to the pigs. He was a farmer, right? Yeah, I actually do know that one. Glitter said that's right. Yeah, we had some people, especially early on when I first made the channel. A lot of people were using the channel as a sleep aid. People were using it to go to sleep, and I was unsure whether I should be highly offended or highly like flattered. I was like, it's sort of like a little bit of both. It was like a little bit, a little 50-50, a little from column A, a little from column B. But we had a lot of people who would use the channel as some sort of like sleep aid, which I found very sort of hilarious. By the way, good work, AdSense, on not paying us today. So apparently, AdSense is the people who pay YouTubers for their super chats and things like that. It was the 21st in America, a Friday night. So they paid like half the people on Friday and they paid half the people on Saturday. So the people that got paid on Saturday won't get their money until Monday. I'm one of the people that got paid on Saturday. It's really annoying. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be good. And then I find out, oh shit, they paid us on the Saturday. I was like, yeah, thanks for that, AdSense. Good work. Glitter says you're way too funny to go to sleep to. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Yes, we are like a family here. You don't use me as a sleep aid. As long as you don't use me as any other type of aid, marital, sexual, foodal, any of those, it's all good. All right. Yeah, so they're the trials and tribulations for people that are YouTubers. We have to deal with weird quirks to the system. We have yeah, so when you guys send in a super chat, we have to go through AdSense and then we get paid like in a month. So the people who paid me in February, like for a super chat or whatever, I get it on Monday from February. You get it like 8 weeks later or something. It's a bit weird. By the way, this is a really big message to anyone who is on an Apple device. anyone who is on like an iPhone or iPad or whatever, do not send super chats through. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you're on a iPhone, iPad, whatever, I know it's maybe one of the only ways you can support your creator that you like, but it's not worth it. I'm telling you. 50% or something goes straight to Apple because you pay through the Apple Pay thing. Then YouTube takes 30%. So that leaves 20% for the creator. Then the creator has to pay 30% tax on that. So the creator ends up with like 7%. So say you gave $10. That's not 10, that's 5, but we'll do it twice. 5. Say you gave $10. The creator gets like $2 or $3.80 out of it. $3.80. For real. That's how it works. If you do it straight through YouTube on the thing, or if you do it through the chat and you don't do it through Apple, the creator gets 70%. So they only lose about 30%. But if you do it through Apple Pay, they take almost most of it. Between Apple, YouTube, and tax, the creator gets about $2 out of $10. For real. It's not worth it, and your money's not going to where you think so. What is Ko-Fi? Is that a coffee app? Yeah, so it's like Buy Me a Coffee. It's similar to like Buy Me a Coffee. So if you've ever had one of those like Buy Me a Coffee type things, it's that, but it's just a different version of it. Unfortunately, we did apply for credit cards, so people didn't have to use PayPal. But unfortunately, because I'm an Australian, it got rejected, and I can only take payments via PayPal. We can't use Cash App. We can't use the other stuff. We can't use Venmo. Yeah, so PayPal, the fee is only what you pay when you send the money. Every other dollar goes to the creator. So the best way to help your creator out is probably through PayPal or something like that, Venmo, Cash App, whatever. Any other way, they get really beaten down by it. So I'll tell you the truth. My AdSense that I get on Monday, I get about $200, right? I think that before everything got taken out was about $600. But I get about 200 out of it. So the other 400 of it goes to tax and YouTube and things like that. And I see about $200 out of it. So yeah, there you go. Now you know how it all works. Now you know how the secret pudding works on YouTube. April B said that's why I don't do super chats. It's almost pointless. It's okay if you do it directly. I think the creator sees most of it, but you don't do it through an Apple device. It's just, yeah, it's not worth it for anyone. It's not worth it for the creator. Your $10 that you're so generously giving to someone is not actually going to them. It's mostly going to corporations that don't need the money really. It's pretty sick that Apple takes a 50% cut from a super chat. It needs to stop. It needs to go away. That's really wrong. April B said that's why I don't do them. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, yes. I'm sure you can set up your own direct pay. What do you mean direct pay? Yeah, it's similar to that. I don't know. Ko-Fi was just the one that got recommended to me, but there's heaps. There's like Buy Me a Coffee. There's this one. There's that one. There's a whole bunch of them. Ko-Fi was just the one that got recommended when I started on here. Actually, I think it was through a software. For a little while, I streamed with a different software, and they have an integration with Ko-Fi, and I just did it through that. But there's other brands and stuff like that. PayPal, like I said, 100% goes to the creator, except for about 4% that you pay in fees or whatever. 90 something percent goes to creators. Yeah, super chat. It's just a weird way that it goes. What do you pay for a gallon of milk or a dozen eggs? Cookie, how much were the eggs? Because she can only eat eggs, right? Like one of the proteins that she can eat is eggs, and unfortunately they're stupid expensive right now. Cookie, how much were the eggs? Like, how much do you pay? Like, about $10? Yeah, about $10. About $10 for 12. So at the moment, that's about the price, and they're hard to get. Yeah, they're free range ones because the cage ones taste like crap. Um, yeah, about $10, and they're not always available. Like a lot of times, you go to the supermarket and they're sold out. A gallon of milk. Milk's not too bad in Australia. I think I can buy a gallon for about 4.30. So that's what, about 3 liters. Yeah, for about 4.30, 4.50. Yeah, if you want a brand name, it's about $7, $8. So if you want a brand name one that's not a supermarket brand, it's about $7.50, $8. But if you just buy the supermarket brand, it's about $4.50 a gallon of milk. Yeah, there you go. $7.99 for free range eggs here. Yeah, it's about the same. It's about the same. America and Australia, about $10. Yeah, very similar. Yeah, it's expensive. I get it. Like that's why, like when I was asking for help with the trial and all that, like I don't expect anyone to help because it's it's so hard out there right now. I get it. Like I see us, my family, like I see everyone struggling. It's bad out there, and it's like everyone can't afford to pay for like their health insurance or pay their electricity bill and things like that. So it's just bonkers. We need the inflation to come further down and for the banks to bring the rates down and things like that so people can have more like free cash flow and things like that. Rachel said, I just paid $10 for an 18 pack of eggs for the hubby. That's what he has every morning now. I like your husband. I think me and your husband would be great friends. I think we'd get along well because I like eggs for breakfast too. Like I work out quite a lot and I do my suspension training and things like that. And I'm always trying to increase my protein intake. And I try and have like 4 eggs for breakfast every day. So yeah. Woman of Steel said we paid $11 a dozen eggs. Milk same. Milk same? How do you buy a dozen milks? Is that how you buy them in a dozen? $11. That's a lot. I know. You guys are great. I appreciate it. But I just mean I get what it's like out there. Like you hear stories of people that can't pay, like they can't turn on their heater and stuff because they can't afford the electricity bill. Like it shouldn't be like that. And so I get it. And some people use YouTube as an escape so that they come to YouTube to not think about that type of thing. They want to go into like a fantasy world and talk about a crime or whatever and have a minute away from real life. So I get that. Gayla says 12 eggs are £3 45 ish, and that's expensive. We use pints here, £1 something for milk, but lactose free. UK is cheap, cheaper than Australia. He's diabetic. I hope he gets his numbers down. Hope he gets his numbers down so he can go pre-diabetic. That'd be great. Keep going, Rachel's husband. You can do it. Eat healthy. Do a bit of exercise. Try and eat some more greens, and you can get it down. I promise. Glitter says, yeah, we want to help. We're trying to come up with ideas. I think you should do a 24-hour marathon on the beach. On the beach? I don't know if we're allowed to do that. But we can go to the beach. Hey, Cookie, do you want to go to the beach one day? You want to go to the beach and we'll do some live streaming from the beach? All right. Mrs. Ping wants to go to the beach. So we could do that. What beach should we take him to? Sandringham? Good work on doxing us, but yeah. Mentone's a good one. Morty Alec's pretty. Morty Alec's a pretty beach. You know what? We should go up to Seaford. No. Because the woman was found dead out there yesterday. There was a woman found dead on the water. We should go up to Seaford. Do you guys want to go up to Seaford? And I can show you where they found that woman yesterday. Maybe we can go tomorrow. You want to go tomorrow? Yeah, do you want to go to the beach? I think it's gonna be all right. Probably like today. Yeah. You want to go beach? We can get some hot chips, maybe. Get some hot chips and sit on the beach and talk true crime. I'll see if she's feeling okay tomorrow. We'll go up to Sandringham. No, not Sandringham. Seaford. We'll go up to Seaford and I'll show you where they found that woman and where the crime scene is. I think the tape is still up right now, so maybe we can go up and check out the crime scene tomorrow. That'll be fun. Gayla says, my mom was type 2, but I changed her diet. Oh, that's really cool. Talk to Rachel. St. Kilda? Nah, I'm not going into St. Kilda. Nah, fuck that. It's too far away for us. It's very, very busy. St. Kilda's just really, really there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of people, it's a tourist location. But where we live out on the bay, it's not a tourist location, it's quite quiet. So if I took you up to Sandringham, we'd be lucky to see, unless it's a hot day, but if we went up there on a cold day, you wouldn't see anyone. It would probably be just us on the beach. So no, not St. Kilda. It's just too busy, too many people. April B says just a relaxing, pretty beach. St. Kilda, not St. Kilda. Seaford is beautiful, but our favorite beach is Mordialloc. We love Mordialloc. It's one of our favorite places. I carb counted and bulked up other things, but still had cake and pudding. Yeah, talk to Rachel. See if maybe some of your tips could help her husband. That'd be good. All right. Let's see what else I've got for you on my list of stories for you. Let's see. Do we have anything? Oh, this is interesting. Graham Harrison. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, we have another story that I was going to do. Where is it? Here. Dun, dun, dun. So this is in Melbourne, where I live. Chilling moment, man lunges out of hedge and grabs a young woman during a attempted abduction in Melbourne. What? I've never heard of such a thing. What the hell? Here. He tried to grab her. Good girl for screaming. Good girl. The hell? He looks like the freaking Oscar the Grouch jumping out of a trash can. It's frightening. Why did that have to happen? What the hell? Who is this guy? So apparently cops would like to know who this person is. That was a 20-year-old woman. Here, what is this? A young woman bravely fought off her would-be kidnapper only hours after an attempted abduction of a 12-year-old girl in a suburb nearby. The 20-year-old woman had just gotten off a bus when she was grabbed from behind by a young man who police are still hunting. She had been walking on Thames Boulevard in Tarney, in a suburb in Melbourne's west at 9:15 p.m. on Wednesday evening. Her attacker, believed to be in his late teens to early 20s, was captured on chilling CCTV, grabbing the woman before she broke free of his grip. The man fled south on Thames Boulevard towards the intersection of Melpomene Boulevard and is believed to be about 160 to 165 centimeters tall and of slim build with short dark hair. The woman was not physically injured during the incident, but I bet you she was scared to frickin' death. They said investigators would like to speak to the driver of a dark-colored four-wheel drive that was in the area at the time and might have witnessed the incident. But earlier in the day, a 12-year-old Caulfield Grammar student was waiting for a bus at 7:30 p.m. on Albion Road in Glen Iris when a man in a black car asked her if she wanted a lift. Police said the girl refused the offer and walked away before boarding a bus. So the school wrote out to parents saying, I want to alert you to a reported incident concerning an adult approaching a student from our campus and asking them to get into a vehicle. The incident involved a secondary school student who was approached by a driver in a vehicle as they were waiting at the bus stop. The student refused to jump in the car. Miss Adams said the staff had met with and supported the 12-year-old student and her family, and that the matter had been referred to Victorian police. So you got two different girls, possibly two different attackers, one trying to coax someone into a vehicle, and the other one they actually tried to grab her. I want to watch this again. Let's go back. It's frightening. Can we slow this down? Hold on. How do we do this? There is a way to do it. Open. Save as? No. There is a way to like make these go onto a different thing. Hold on. Copy link. Please copy paste. All right. Let me see if I open this up. Will it jump? Aha, here we go. Got it. There we go. So there's a way to open these up in a spare browser, and then you can slow them down. But you can't do it on the news article. You have to modify it. So there you go. You can see. So where did he come from? Here, can we change the speed? Here. Playback speed. Harvard. Let's go back here. Where did he come from? He just like came up. He came from behind. Like he just came. You reckon it was? He was hiding in the actual bush? Yeah. It doesn't show that bit. It just sort of shows him. It's almost like he tried to drag her into the bush. Look. As she tries to get away, he kind of leans. I don't know if he was trying to drag her down. That's sort of what it looked like. Yeah, he tried to drag he was trying to like get in front of her and then like get her onto the ground. I don't know if he was trying to SA her or, but that's very much what it looks like. He tries to, but she screams. Clever girl though, good girl. Yeah, very, very, very good girl, knowing her like surroundings and making a loud noise. A lot of people, when they're attacked, don't actually do that, and it prolongs the offending. Not that it's their fault, but if you can remember to do that, it's really good because it scares the attacker and like it makes them jump, and it helps stop that attack on her, which is she did a good job. Yeah, good girl. Yeah, I think there might be like an outreach of the bush, like over here. I think he may have just been sort of like hiding behind it. I don't know if he was in the bush. It sounds like he was probably just like maybe hiding slightly behind it. And what is it? Is it glasses or his eyes? Let's have a look. Looks like glasses. I see like the reflection of like glasses, not. I don't know if that's true. But I see something glisten up near his face. It could be the CCTV as well. Sometimes these CCTV cameras get weird reflections on people, but it could be. But yeah, so apparently there is a scumbag. He's pretty young too. They reckon somewhere between 18 and like 20. So he's a pretty young offender to be trying to take a girl off the streets of Melbourne. He's a young offender, really young. So you can imagine if he's already trying this, he may escalate. Really got to find this guy and find out who it is, because the next thing after this is a lot worse. It's probably actually taking a girl, trying again. She gets R-worded, and then the next one after that is probably finding a girl's body somewhere. Because these offenders don't just stop. They don't just be like, oh, I failed at getting a girl. Oh, I'm not going to do that again. No, they'll try again. They'll try with a new plan of attack, and then their offending gets worse because they think, oh, well, I almost got caught last time, or I failed. Well, this time I better do more of my fantasy. If I do get the girl, I should do more of it because this might be my only opportunity. Yeah, it's very strange for such a young guy to be attacking girls like that. By the way, this is a really good trick if you want to download the videos too. See, if you get it on this other page, you can download them. So if you want to upload them or put them on your show, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah, it's frightening footage of this young lady, 20 years old, just got off a bus, was coming home, and a guy around her age grabbed her. Good girl for yelling, though. Good girl. Probably saved her from an even more vicious attack, for real. Yeah, this is why women keep like keys on them, and they put the keys through their fist, or they use it like a knuckle duster. You know, like they. It's sad that women have to feel that way. You know, it's really sad. Mrs. Ping, have you ever had to like hold your keys in your hand while walking home because you were scared?
Yeah, I guess I have. Yeah. Especially like when I was younger. And then I used to work in the city. And then, you know, getting home late at night as well because my hours were like hospitality hours. So, yeah, there were times where I was a bit scared. I would hold my keys in my hand. Yeah, get ready for anything.
Did you ever have it happen or no? All right. Do you still have that fear today?
Not as much, I guess, because I don't walk around with knives as much anymore.
You're more of a homebody now.
Yeah, and because you know I've got the car, I don't use like transport.
Now you just hit them with the car, right? If they come to you, you just run them over.
But I have like, especially if I'm in the car alone, and you know the streets are a bit, you know.
Oh, that's why you jump when I whack on the window.
Well, that's why I lock the doors inside.
Yeah, she does. She locks me in every time.
Sometimes.
I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like the door's locked.
Yeah, because you just never know. You could just be stopped somewhere and someone could jump into your car. You have no control.
Like a carjacker or something.
Anything.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, she says yes. Every woman has, yeah. She says not as bad as when she used to be a little younger, but yeah. Yeah, she would. She'd run them over. I've seen her drive. She'd kill them. She'd kill them. She'd run them over. All right. Hold on, guys. All right, I think we're getting ready for dinner. So I think I'm going to have to wind up because it's almost 6 p.m. down here. Will I be back later tonight? Maybe. maybe if I find a story I really would like to do, maybe we'll be back for a impromptu early show. We'll see how I feel. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for sure though. April B says I always lock my car doors as soon as I get in. It's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea. I will bring you more updates tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more updates. It's 2:41 a.m. in the morning for you. Gayla says it's 6:41 for her. Yeah, you come on, let's wind up. Let's get out of here. We didn't get to do an early show today, but I would like to do more early shows leading up to the trial so that more people can be involved. So you may see more 9 o'clock shows as we move along to the trial, because I feel like that would allow more people to, have a say and talk and things like that. But there's a lot happening in the background. I have some very interesting news I wish I could share with you all, but I literally have to sit on it for a while. How long is that? I don't know. They haven't told me what I can and can't do. So Gail says, what time is it for you? Like I said, it's just before 6 p.m. at night. So it's about dinner time. So I'm going to go eat. I'm going to get out of here for the night. And I might be back for an early show. Maybe we'll go walking in the dark again. But we'll try go to the beach tomorrow. Maybe we'll go up to the crime scene in Seaford tomorrow. So we'll see how Mrs. Ping feels. And yeah, we might go up to the crime scene at Seaford and Frankston tomorrow and take you on a drive around Melbourne. So you guys want to go on a car trip? We're going like a road trip down to the beach. All right, we'll try and do that tomorrow. All right, I love you all. No at 9 their time. No at 9 their time. I don't know what that means. And Gail says you're basically 1 hour before me, but PM when I'm AM. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, good night, everyone. Love you all. Love you all. Hope your renovations are going well, Texas Roadrunner. Hope they're going well. Yes, good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Hope tonight was a fun show for everyone. And yeah, maybe a beach trip tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye. Have a great Saturday tomorrow. Have a great Saturday tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.